Alright, since I recently and a couple other pistols had gone through and or my Glocks and had changed some of the triggers out, I figured I'd actually go through and show this. I know there's a lot of other YouTubers that have done it. Actually, YouTube might get a little mad at it. Oh dang, I'm gonna have to screw up this goon tape. Well, athletic tape, so I'll go ahead and grab this and I can always redo that later. So I should have done this beforehand, but we all make mistakes. So now most will go through and, I shouldn't say most, but some will go through and just pull out these two pins and then finagle this out. I'm going to show a way I learned to do it. So for starters, since my Glock tool is in my range bag, I don't feel like digging it out. This is a 3/32 punch that I'll be using just to push out all the pins. And they're Serpico triggers. They're just the trigger shoe itself. What's nice is each Serpico trigger that you buy does come with the Allen wrench for the locking screw. Alright, now this one, because you gotta wiggle this thing a little bit. Come on. There we go. You can slide that out. Come on. Oh, helps when you actually get it through the hole. Now, one of the things you can do is try to go through and finagle this out, but if you push your okay, this one's not going to go in there. If you go through and you pull up a little bit, you can actually pull your locking block out some, so when you actually go to lift everything out, oh, I thought I had enough. But the trigger's wanting to be a jerk. Come on. Yeah, the one time. There. So then, I probably should have read which one this was first. The 16th punch is what you're going to need to actually punch out, punch out this pin through. Now, if you want, you can actually take the trigger housing off or not. You could also use a roll of tape for this, like a roll of duct tape. And let's hope that my table is in good enough position and not going to bounce ridiculously. So as you can kind of see, there's a little bit of a punch there. Oh, you prick. My table might not be solid enough for this. Alright, if you don't want to be solid enough in one way, because it's a plastic fold out table, we'll get a bit heavier of a hammer and see if that can help. Alright, I'll be right back. Blasted table. Knew it wasn't good enough to be a workbench in total. So once you actually break it through, you'll obviously have the broken One stuff, plastic polymer. So for that, I'll take the old bag that it came in and throw it in, because if you want, you can save it for a later use. Let's grab this. Move that out of the way for now. And then did I get that thing on there? I did not. Dang it. It's the only downside of this whole thing is since you don't have a pin that goes all the way through, it's trying to find out exactly where it goes in. Oh, would you stop being a jerk? There we go, I think. There we go. That's the proper end. Into it. That took way more than it should have. We can go make sure that trigger housing is set the way it's supposed to be. No, don't argue. Don't argue. Push that back in. Alright, there's one pin, there's the other pin. That's the nice thing about Glocks is a couple videos and you're dang near a full Glock armor besides the full auto. Make sure it didn't go all the way through. Come on. And there we go. She's put back together. Throw the slide on. And the bronze with the gold trigger, I actually think looks pretty cool. Let's see if we can do this a second time and just slide that out the way. Yep, so that one came out fine. Yeah, sometimes the one for the holding the trigger is going to sound like it just hits a rock. Well, screw it. We'll take the locking block entirely off. Man, you are not wanting to break. Let's try and bring it more to a side spot to where it should be a bit more solid. So it's going to break off and have the little chunks of polymer that fall off, but since this thing's magnetized from Real Avid, there goes the trigger. And again, you can throw away your old Glock trigger or keep it, because you could still use it, just put like a dab of glue on there or whatnot, but that's just how they do those ones. Now it came with its own, this one also came with a, it's hidden behind these. Its own Allen wrench, but since they all obviously use the same. Come on. Hey, that one went on fast. Now, a lot of the triggers as well, you can get with a full-on trigger bar, where all you have to do is pull this out and then pull off the spring, which is exponentially easier than people think. I mean, working on Glocks is stupid simple. Grab the locking block, shove it back in. I pushed you out of the way, athletic tape. So be out of the way. Normally you don't need to do that. But sometimes the little tappy tap of the hammer is pretty nice. So that one did that. You can go ahead and throw that one on. Before we get into that, I don't know how well I'll be able to see. There's this spot in here, right next to the trigger where this one slides. Now the Gen 5, it's a little different. Come on. Come on. No. Come on, freaking catch. There we go. Sometimes these pins like to be a jerk. There we go. And there we go. That would be a trigger change for the whole trigger shoe. And yeah, if you're going to do it on a plastic table, most plastic folding tables, go to a corner to where it's going to be a bit harder. But, you know, that's if you want to have a flat trigger or an aluminum trigger or something. There's all types of different ones that make it. I know my original video to watch this, to learn it, was from changing a Tyrant trigger. But I found this Serpico and changed out a couple of them, and I think they're pretty cool. So that was just a simple thing. And like I said, I think the gold goes really well with the burnt bronze slide. So, appreciate you. And hopefully you learned something. Have a good one.